The Sony A7V has quickly become one of the most talked about upcoming cameras in the mirrorless world. Early leaks and reports suggest it will continue Sony's tradition of delivering powerful, well-balanced hybrid cameras aimed at both photographers and filmmakers. Positioned as a successor to the popular A7 IV, the A7V seems to bridge the gap between the enthusiast-friendly A7 IV and the high-performance, professional-grade A1 II. It appears Sony's goal is to give creators a camera that offers meaningful upgrades without pushing into the extreme flagship price territory. However, as with any rumored release, the real question is whether the changes will feel like genuine progress or just incremental improvements on paper. At the heart of the A7V is said to be a new 44-megapixel non-stacked sensor. On paper, that's a healthy increase in resolution, which will appeal to landscape, portrait, and commercial photographers who value extra detail for large-format prints or heavy cropping flexibility. However, for many photographers, 33 megapixels is already more than sufficient for everyday use. Unless you are regularly working on projects that require billboard-size images or extreme crop flexibility, the jump to 44 megapixel might not fundamentally change your shooting results. The bigger talking point here is not the increase in megapixels, but the type of sensor being used. Sony's decision to stick with a non-stacked design could be controversial. Stacked sensors, like the one in the A1 series, allow for extremely fast readout speeds, reducing rolling shutter distortion, and enabling higher burst rates without sacrificing image quality. Without stacking, the A7V may still face limitations in fast-action scenarios. While the rumored 20 frames per second continuous shooting speed sounds excellent, the effectiveness of that speed depends on how clean the frames are when using the electronic shutter. If rolling shutter distortion is noticeable, sports and wildlife shooters might find the performance less appealing in practice. For hybrid shooters, the video upgrades in the A7V could be far more exciting than the bump in megapixels. Rumors suggest the camera will offer 4K recording at up to 120 frames per second with no crop. This is a big deal because many cameras that shoot high frame rate 4K require a crop, effectively changing the field of view and making it harder to match footage from other cameras or use wide-angle lenses effectively. No crop means you can maintain the same cinematic look across frame rates while using your full set of lenses without compromise. The inclusion of 10-bit 422 color recording, along with professional picture profiles such as S-Cinetone, would allow filmmakers, YouTubers, and commercial videographers to get footage with a cinematic color palette right out of the camera, or take advantage of the extra data for intensive color grading in post-production. High frame rate 4K combined with professional codecs and profiles makes the A7V a strong candidate for serious video production, even without jumping to Sony's cinema line. Another consideration is heat management. The A7V was known to overheat under extended 4K recording conditions, especially at higher quality settings. If Sony has borrowed the improved thermal design from the A1 II, the A7V could become a much more reliable choice for long-form filming, live streaming, or events where you can't afford for your camera to shut down unexpectedly. One of the most exciting potential upgrades is the rumored inclusion of a dedicated AI processing unit for autofocus. This would build on Sony's already class-leading AF system, potentially taking subject tracking to a whole new level. Current real-time eye AF is already impressive for humans, animals, and birds, but the AI chip could expand recognition to include a wider variety of subjects such as vehicles, insects, and even specific sports-related motion patterns. AI-powered autofocus would be particularly beneficial for creators who often work solo, where the ability to trust the camera's tracking can mean the difference between capturing a moment perfectly or missing it entirely. Imagine being able to track a racing car through a complex course or keep perfect focus on a flying bird against a busy background, all without needing to manually intervene. If this AI system performs as promised, it could be one of the most significant upgrades over the A7 IV. The A7V is rumored to inherit the body design of the A12, which is known for its excellent ergonomics, weather sealing, and robust build quality. This would be a notable upgrade over the A7 IV's more utilitarian build. A higher resolution electronic viewfinder could improve the shooting experience, especially for manual focus work or precise composition. The larger grip and more tactile button layout of the A12 design might also make the A7V more comfortable for long shooting sessions. Thermal performance improvements could also be a major selling point. Overheating was one of the loudest complaints about the A7 IV for video shooters. And if the A7V can maintain performance without shutdowns during extended 4K or 8K, if available sessions, it will go a long way toward winning over professional users. Another subtle but impactful potential change could be improved menu navigation and customization. Sony has made big strides in recent years with their updated menu systems, but pairing that with the AI features and possibly more physical controls could streamline the workflow for both photographers and videographers. Pricing is rumored to be around €3,000 or roughly $3,300, putting the A7V in an interesting position. It's more expensive than the A7 IV, but still far less than the flagship A12, which means it's aimed at serious enthusiasts and working professionals who want high-end performance without breaking into the ultra-premium tier. For those who skip the A7 afar or are upgrading from older models like the A7 III, this could be a compelling middle ground. However, the question remains whether the A7V will deliver enough real-world improvement to justify the price for existing A7 IV owners. Higher resolution is nice to have, but not essential for most photographers. Faster burst speeds are attractive, but without a stacked sensor, their practical benefit could be limited. The video upgrades and AI autofocus are the areas that could truly make this camera feel like a leap forward. If Sony has successfully addressed heat management, rolling shutter performance, and usability concerns, the A7V might very well become the sweet spot in Sony's lineup for years to come. For those already satisfied with their current cameras, especially if you're not pushing them to their limits, the A7V might feel more like a luxury upgrade than a necessity. But for creators looking for a camera that can handle high-resolution photography, professional-grade video, and intelligent autofocus in one package, it could be one of the most well-rounded tools Sony has ever produced. Ultimately, the success of the A7V will depend on how well Sony turns these rumored specifications into real, tangible performance gains in the field.